Hi guys, great to see you again. Welcome to my shed. As you can see behind me, there's some sort of garden stuff. I don't really know much about it. I don't think it's ever been used. Looks good there though. Just wanted to say a quick thank you to you guys for all your hard work so far. I know it's quite a lot of information, a lot of stuff to do online. So thank you for your thoughtful ideas and writing and words. Keep going. I'm sure by the end of the week it's gonna be fantastic. It's gonna be great. Because I know you've had so much to do, I just wanted to do a quick activity that will be fun and allow you to use your imagination and stretch the language. So, I want you to try and write a recipe. That's right. Yeah, you're probably thinking a recipe, but it's not a recipe for food. It's a recipe for more abstract ideas. So this recipe is a concoction, a mix, a recipe for lots of different subjects that we'll talk about in a second. So imagine you're Jamie Oliver, all right, or Gordon Ramsay. Uh, actually, don't think you're Gordon Ramsay. His language is a bit colourful. We might not be able to use some of that stuff. But well, Jamie Oliver's good. So to start, to begin, we need some of or all of the verbs that are used to write recipes. Um, Now, when I say the verbs, I know you're probably thinking already, okay, so what kind of verbs? So let's think, okay, so you got a chopping board in front of you and you've got onion. You're gonna chop, you're gonna slice the onion, you're gonna chop the onion, you're gonna maybe dice the onion. Then maybe you're gonna fry the onion. Maybe then you're gonna grate a carrot, whatever. So things like that. So loads and loads and loads of verbs that were used in recipes and cooking. How to find all of these if you can't come up with anything? YouTube is good if you've got access to the internet, right? So you can have a look at what Jamie Oliver says. The internet is good, as again, there's loads, hundreds and hundreds of recipes that you can just grab the language from and use in different ways. So lots of different, and maybe in your house, if you wander into the kitchen, there might be a recipe book that you'll be able to use as well. So grab one of those, and lots of interesting language that you can use from some of those as well. There's some really interesting ideas in the recipes in terms of the language you can use. Next, right, because we can't just put everything we've got, all our ingredients into a pot. It won't taste very good, in terms of a metaphor for what we're trying to do here, and generally when you're cooking as well. So we have to measure things. So we need a language of measurements. So again, that's right. You're probably thinking, okay, you got it. Sometimes you need a pinch of, or a teaspoon, or a cup, and so forth. Again, I don't want to give you loads and loads because I want you to come up with your own, because how you use them is the most important thing in this activity. Main thing is for you to use them in a way that works for you. Right, and then the last bit in terms of structuring this short piece, and I'm going to call it kind of a list poem, I think, is sequence. So, for example, you have to have an order when you're following a recipe. And you could start with to begin, or first, or next, or add, and things like that. Again, it's all when you start doing a little bit of diving into what a recipe looks like, you'll come up with all these words. And you can be inventive and use it however you want. Remember, this is a sort of a poetic recipe, so you can be as creative as you like. So one of the most difficult things, I think, part of this is coming up with a topic. And I'm going to give you a few ideas, and then again, as you go away, I'm sure you'll come up with your own sort of idea for what you want to write about. But I've done this activity with my groups this year, and they really loved it. In fact, one of our anthologies is called A Piece of Pie because we loved this activity so much, and we came up with a recipe for peace. So, some of my writers in the first story group came up with a recipe for love, friendship, hope, war, life. Get the idea. Huge subjects or small subjects or funny subjects or serious subjects, whatever you want. It's totally up to you. Whatever you come up with, I think will be fantastic. For now that we've got the idea of the verbs, the idea of the measurements, the sequence, I want you to use your imagination. Now, got to remember that when you use one of the verbs, I want you to think about why you're using it rather than just throw it in there. So if you're cutting something, why are you cutting it? If you're chopping something, why are you chopping it? If you're dicing something, and so forth, right? If you work out why you're using it, I think the visual for the reader will be stronger. And also remember, we need a sort of something at the end that we can metaphorically eat or drink or digest in some way. So we have to have something at the end, whether it's a pie or a pasta dish or whatever it is. We need something that comes out of the oven or comes out of the pan or whatever it is, or comes out of the pot. The last thing I want to do is give you a short example of something, of a piece that was written this year for one of my students in another first story group. So I'm just going to read a couple of lines. I don't want to read the whole thing so to give you too much, because then there will be too much in your head. Just to give you an idea. Okay. So, firstly, sprinkle some tears. Cover this with a few teaspoons of love and care. Allow this to grow for a few years while constantly scooping in handfuls of friends and fun. Add a dollop of emotions and little mistakes. In brackets, this adds a little kick into the mix of learning. Cream for 9 years until the mixture is properly whipped. Then dice up some more emotions and mistakes. Now you need to add a big old heap of reality. So this is just a little extract to give you a sense of something and to get you started. Just a quick recap. So this is a sort of a list poem using metaphors, those verbs we talked about, and sequencing, so some kind of order, to create something thoughtful or fun, or both. So there it is, guys. Now it's your turn for you to go away and write your own recipe for whatever it is. Well, the last thing I will say is, if you can, keep your topic a mystery until the final line or so. I think that will be interesting as well. But if you can't, that's fine. It just adds a little bit of mystery, so the reader's trying to guess what it's about. Is it about love? Is it about friendship? Is it about war? So it just gives the reader a little bit of something to keep going to the next line and the next line and the next line. Apart from that, it's totally up to you. I look forward to reading it, and just to bear in mind that in terms of the recording, this could be something fun. So if you do come up with something you're proud of and you like and you think, oh, that's cool, you'll be able to add it to the recording, because I think when you read it aloud, it's quite fun and interesting. Okay, guys, good luck with everything. Again, thank you for logging in here, and good luck. Bye.